Hello everyone and welcome back to another makeup tutorial. Today I want to kind of go for like a little purple smoky eye look with some bats. So to get started, I already did my moisturizer, cleaned my face, So to get started, we're going to go in with the e.l.f. Power Grip Primer. And then we're going to blend that in and just make sure all of our spots are covered. And then once that's blended in, we're going to go ahead and let it dry down for about 30 seconds or until it gets like it's slightly tacky, but we want it to be tackier so our makeup will stick. Okay, and then once that's dried down, you can see it's a lot tackier. So we're going to go in with our IRL filter in the shade F9. This is our foundation. Big dots all over. And then you'll want to get blend it down into your neck too. My only problem with this foundation is it oxidizes quite a bit. Other than that, I think it's a really gorgeous foundation. So we're going to go ahead and take our blending brush and just blend that out. Okay, once that's blended out, and I look a bit ghosty because this is my winter shade and I did gain some color over the past couple weeks. We're going to go in with our RL Filter Finish shade C7. This is the concealer. What I like about Makeup Revolution, it's like concealers and foundations, is that the concealers have a C, so it'll be shade C whatever, and then the foundations have an F, so it'll be shade F whatever. I think that's a really good way of differentiating concealers. And then we're going to go ahead and blend that out. And once that is all blended out, we're going to go ahead and go with our blush. As promised in the last video, I do have a couple more spooky stories to tell, so I will be kind of sprinkling them throughout the video. Once I gain my bearings, I just want to get the base down first, then while I'm doing my eyes, we can go ahead. So I'm going in with the Camera Liquid blush in the shades Dusty Rose, apologies, and then coming in Hot Pink. And I just do the tiniest dot of the hot pink because this stuff, you'll see, it is hot pink. So then I'm going to grab our blush brush and just blend that out. Like, the pigment in these is insane. I think these are a really good dupe for the Rare Beauty liquid blushes. I'm just kind of blending that out and then bringing it up. And then once that's all blended out, we're going to go in with our Luminous Putty Bronzer in the shade Summer Fridays by e.l.f. I really like this bronzer. I feel like it gives a very subtle kind of bronzed look, whereas some other bronzers I've tried have just been way too over the top. So I'm just picking up some on this little fluffy kind of condensed brush. And just blending that into the cheekbones, the jaw, just kind of bring back some of that color, because once we set our face, we're going to lose this blushy color too. So I'm just kind of putting it where I feel I want to highlight. And then once we're done with that, we're going to go ahead and start on our brows. So for our brows, I will be using, again, this Love Matters palette from Morphe. And I will be using a combination of these two shades right down here. And gathering it on my brush. And then I'm just going to follow the shape, well, comb my brows up first. And then follow the shape of my brows. brows. Once our brows are done, we're going to go ahead and set our face. We're using the Photo Focus in the shade Translucent from Wet n Wild. So we're going to grab our big fluffy brush like this. Actually, first we're going to grab our damp beauty blender, some on there, and tap off the excess, and then we're going to go ahead and pin that under our eyes. I'm going to be honest, I'm not one for baking because I have no clue what it does or what it is. So I don't do it. I could probably watch videos on it, but and then we're gonna look up to get in our creases, moving up our under eye creases. And then we're gonna get our T-zone as well. So forehead, nose. And then we're gonna take our fluffy brush to the rest of our face, including our neck because we did put foundation on our neck. Okay, and then once our face is set, as you can see, we kind of lost some of that blush from earlier, so we're going to go ahead and bring it back. I'm using the Botanic Beauty blush in the shade Mauve Lychee. I've had this blush for forever. I'm not even, like, we're just going to gather some of that and then put it back on this. I really love this. It's a very soft pink when you're using it normally. Obviously not when you've under blushed. So, like, I have just kind of bringing some of that pinky color back and then taking a clean brush and then blending it out even more. And then once we're done with that, we're going to go ahead with our highlighter. Okay, I'm going to skip the ads, but we're going in with obviously the Glam Light highlighter, the Frosted Flakes collection. Sorry, I'm looking for my mascara that I wanted to try out, but whatever, can't find it. So we're just kind of swirling it around because it is a loose powder. So we're swirling it around in a brush. This is just absolutely stunning. I like to put a lot and then I just kind of blend it out. Cupid's bow. And then I'm just going to take my finger. I like to use my middle because that one has the most surface area. Just kind of blend it out and upwards just like that. So it's not all in one same spot. And then I'll take whatever remaining, oh my gosh, just add a little bit extra and then just continue blending it out. And once our highlighter is all blended out, it still creates this beautiful shimmer, blinding as well. I went ahead and put a lip mask on my lips. This is the Momonde lip sleeping mask. It is a sleeping mask, but I also like to use it as a lip balm. It's a Korean lip product, and when I tell you it's moisturizing, it is moisturizing. So we're going to go ahead and get started on our eyes now. We are going to start off with priming our eyes. So we're going in with the Makeup Revolution Super Base Eye Primer. And then just putting that on our eyes, just like that, and then blending it out. And once that's blended out, we're going to take this shade right here from the Revolution Friends collab. Get as much of it as on our beauty blender as possible. Oh, actually, because I'm doing purple today, we're going to set with a light purple shade instead of our usual light shade, and then we're just setting it. So I'm grabbing I have to find a light purple. We're grabbing actually this little light blue shade right here on our beauty blender. As you can tell, this palette has been through some wear and tear. We're just grabbing it on our beauty blender and setting it on our eyes to prevent any creases. And once our base is set, oh please, okay. I'm just dropping everything today. We're going to go in with our packing brush, and then we're grabbing this purple shade from the ColourPop Pokemon collab. It's in the shade Lavender Town. I'm just going to pick up as much pigment as possible and then tapping off the excess to prevent fallout. And then we will just be tapping that into our inner corner right here. And then again, you don't have to worry about blending. We are just placing the colors to start with. Okay, so I guess the next story that I have for you guys, if you want the previous ones, go ahead and check out my last video from yesterday. That's the one with the candy corn look. So my next story, I was a bit older. I was probably around 13 or 14. And I had been, so my entire childhood, my family, we loved to go exploring haunted houses, haunted, like abandoned places. Just, we loved to do that. That was like our family thing. And we had been going to camp and like this camping spot. And on the way there, we found this extremely spooky, like abandoned shack. So we decided, why not go check it out? Not a good idea. My parents went in while us kids stayed in the car, and they couldn't really find anything. It was all like overgrown and stuff. But a couple houses down, this man, he starts yelling at us. He's like, get away from there, get away from there, get out, get out. Just warning us not to go in there. So obviously we did go in there because what is he going to do? He doesn't own the property. And they found more like graves. They had found like skeletons. We reported it to the police. The police they didn't do anything. They were like, oh, this isn't like conclusive. They were investigating it and stuff, but it was still really scary and just sketchy. I wouldn't say there was a bad vibe about the place, like something had happened there, but it wasn't like, oh, it wasn't too bad. It was just kind of sketchy. Anyway, the next shade we're going to be going in with this is this purple one from the Rick and Morty Glam Light palette. And then we're going to be putting that kind of not in the direct center, but overlaying that purple and then just bringing it to the middle a little bit. Just like that. All right, and then the next shade we're going to be going in with is this very dark purple right here, and then that'll go on our outer corner. Picking up pigment, tapping off excess, and repeating the process a few times. It'll look like we're just going to be packing that into the corner and building out a little shape. little bat wing, if you will. And then remember, do not worry about the blending or the very obvious patchiness. We will fix that once we are at the blending step, once we're kind of blending everything together. Once we are done with that, we're going to grab our fluffy brush and pick up each color. So to start, we're going to grab that purple from earlier, the light purple, and then blending that into the medium purple and up as well. Okay, I guess my final ghost story, this one was actually the one that scared me the most. It was while I was in training. I was up at Fort Sam, Houston, because that's where corpsmen, if you don't know already, I'm a corpsman for the Navy. That's where we do our medical training. And I had just moved, I was living in the barracks. I had just moved rooms. And immediately upon entering this new room, I just cold and dark and this evil feeling washed over me completely, and just I could tell that this room was not safe. I could tell there was something in this room that did not want me there, and it was just absolutely terrifying. I had never felt that feeling before until that moment, and I just knew that I did not want, like, I was not wanted in this room. Whatever had been in there did not want me there. I should have listened. I should have gone right downstairs and told them I didn't want to be in that room. But I did not. I did not listen to that warning. So the first couple of nights, I was completely alone in the room. I did not have a roommate. I did not have anybody moved in or anything like that. I was completely by myself. So that's kind of where it starts to get scary. First couple of nights, they were fine, but then a couple days later, I started hearing scratching at my door. I would come home from school and my closet would be open or the light would have been turned on. Just kind of little things like that. And at first, I didn't really think anything too much of it because they would also give us random inspections, like if we were gone. But then at night, I would hear like tapping at the door, like kind of knocking as if somebody's in there trying to get out. I would hear scratching through the walls, just all sorts of stuff at night. And I would even go to bed and like my light, I would turn off the closet light and then the light would be on. And then it was just like freaky. So I would be hearing these noises. Oh, wow, that is a lot. We're going to go ahead and clean that up really fast. Okay, the next step we're going to do is we're going to take a clean, fluffy brush and take the tiniest amount of black to kind of deepen that inner outer corner. Just blending that into that purple. As you can tell, the difference already is insane. I'm just kind of blending it into the purple. Anyway, so this particular story takes place one specific night, and it to this day still terrifies me to even think about it. So sorry, I was getting a little hot, so I had to move my fan. So one night I was going to sleep. My roommate, at this point I have a roommate, and this is very important to the story. At this point I have a roommate. My roommate hadn't come home yet, and I was sleeping. Sleeping through the night, and all of a sudden I have this dream. And in this dream, I'm with my mom, and we had just come back from the craft store, and I automatically, she's like, oh, go get the scissors, I want to show you something. And when I come back with the scissors, she immediately snatches them out of my hand. And in that moment, I just knew, like, physically, I knew that this wasn't good. It wasn't um, my mom. And she grabs the scissors out of my hand and just kind of like pulls me towards her. And now holding the scissors to the back of my neck right here, kind of where your head meets your spine. And it's just hot, like, she has that look in her eye, in like horror movies when they are possessed and you can just tell they have like that blank stare on their face. That's what my mom looked like. That was the exact look my mom had, and it was terrifying. I felt so scared in that moment. I was like, okay. And I could tell that whoever this person was not my mom. This was not my mom. And I could physically, so she was slowly adding pressure into my neck, and I could physically feel it. Like my physical body could feel it. And eventually things kind of start going black, I should say. They just kind of start going dark, which means in my dream, I'm losing consciousness. So I'm like, Mom, stop, stop, stop. I'm just begging her to stop. I'm begging her and begging her to stop, but she's not stopping. And then subconsciously, I hear my roommate shuffle. And I immediately wake up. And my roommate, she never shuffles. When she's asleep, she is asleep. She is down for the night. And I hear her shuffle in her sheets. And upon waking up, I feel like a weight is being lifted off me. It's almost as if I was being held down through my neck, my hands, and my legs. Something was holding me down. And as soon as I woke up, it was lifted. It was like feeling lifted. And the energy in the room felt extremely dark and evil and just terrifying. As if I hadn't woke up in that moment, I couldn't say I would die, but I probably would have been seriously injured. And I was just so terrified. And I remember, like, I wasn't able to fall back asleep because it just felt so dark and threatening. That was definitely the scariest feeling I ever had. I never had something or experienced anything like that before that point. And it was just otherworldly, I could say. Anyway, so that is kind of what it'll look like once I deepen into purples. I don't have any more stories. That was the most recent one, happened about a year ago now. And in this new house, in my new apartment that I'm currently living in, it doesn't feel haunted. There's nothing, I haven't had any experiences since that. And I could not believe how terrifying that was. So once we're done with that, we are going to go in with this purple shade right here. Actually, let me see if this one has any better ones. Ooh, okay. Yes, we are actually going to go in with this purple shade. It's called Blasting Off. I think, okay, so that's a bit light. So I'm going to mix two colors. Going in with both of these purple shades. That's kind of what it will look like. I prefer to use my fingers for like glitters. I just feel like it packs it on better. And then we're just going to be kind of packing that onto our inner corner. Just like that. And then that's what the shimmer will look like. I'm really happy with how it turned out. It kind of gives it more of like a witchy vibe, if you will. So I want to add the tiniest pop. Sorry, I'm cleaning off my brush. The tiniest pop of orange right underneath my eye, like lower lash line. So kind of add a little pop. I am wearing orange after all. And I feel like it brings out my eyes a little bit better as well. And once we're done with that, we're going to go ahead and get started on our eyeliner. So we are going to be using obviously, my favorite liner. I will never stop talking about this. It's the Lucidity Pro Liner Palette from Hex Baby Beauty over on Instagram. I highly recommend, highly recommend going to check them out. They are a bit pricey, but it is totally worth it. I only started to hit pan on this yesterday. I've had it for about a year. Maybe a year and a half by this point, and I obviously hit pan on the black, but you can still use them. And the cool thing about them is that they're magnetic, so they just pop out and then you can just pop them back in, so you can order more of whatever you hit pan on the website. So I'm going to be going in with the black, obviously, because we're doing bats. I love bats. They're probably my favorite Halloween symbol, bats and ghosts. So I'm just going to be starting off with a simple winged liner. And then dragging and connecting it to the eye. And that is our wing. So we're going to go ahead and get started on our little bats. So again, you'll want to grab the black. And then I usually have a very tiny detail liner brush, but I'm going to be completely honest, I have no idea where it went. So we're going to just make our brush as thin as possible. These are the detail brushes from Morphe. I got them for like $10 at Ulta, I want to say. Yeah. And then we're just going to go ahead and just kind of start outlining our body shape. I hold my breath because this gives me really bad anxiety. Well, not anxiety, but I already have really shaky hands. So we're just going to go ahead. I feel like I can focus better when I hold my breath. But remember to breathe. Like, breathing is important. You will die. And bringing it up, forming the shape of the wings, ears. Oh, sorry, I had to skip that. Well, how perfect it was for Monster High, though. So once we have our Batty shape, we're just going to go ahead and fill it in. Just like that. I'm going to go ahead and repeat the process on the other side as well as add some bats, and I'll be right back. And this is the finished look for the bats. I really think this side turned out so much better. But it's okay. No going back now. I found the mascara I was looking for. This is the Milk Rise Mascara. I got this at TJ Maxx, and I haven't been able to try it out yet. So, first time for everything. This is what the brush looks like. Oh, I personally, my favorite mascara I've ever used is the Milk Makeup Kush Mascara. I absolutely love that mascara, but I cannot justify spending like $30 on a mascara, so we settle with cheaper mascaras that can do the same stuff. Oh, I don't know if this is just old, but I don't think I like it that much, to be honest. That's what it looks like. I think I'm just going to use the Call Me Queen mascara from Essence instead. I really like this one. Okay, and then for lips, we're going in with the NYX lip liner in the shade Whipped Caviar. Hope I sharpened it today, so let's hope it doesn't fall apart. And this glides on beautifully. It also helps that I had a base on underneath. And I'm just gonna apply that all over. That it's this gorgeous pinky nude color, and then I'm going to top it up with the Too Faced lip injection. This is just their standard one. I can't find my normal one that I usually use, so I'm just gonna top it off. And that's the finished. And we're gonna go ahead and set our face. I'm using the NYX Marshmallow Setting Spray. This is a matte setting spray. I'm gonna shake it really good. I'm gonna spray it all over my face. I went ahead and took my hair down as well, and that is the finished look, everyone. I really hope you enjoyed this one. It is a bit longer from the storytelling, but I really hope you enjoyed this look today. And if you have any questions or any looks you'd like me to try out, leave them down below in the comments. And I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day.